Is it accurate that the organization reached a financial settlement with a female staffer who claimed to be at a strip club with you, and there was a colleague who attempted to sexually assault her? Was there a financial settlement?
Senator, I was not involved in that.
What you are about to see is one of the most controlled and calculated moments in a Senate hearing room in recent memory. Senator Mark Kelly, Democrat of Arizona, a combat veteran and former astronaut, sat across from Pete Hegseth, Trump's pick to run the entire United States military. And he did something simple. He asked yes or no questions, and he refused to accept anything else. The job on the table is Secretary of Defense, the person who commands the largest military on Earth, who oversees nuclear weapons, who makes decisions that affect the lives of hundreds of thousands of people in uniform. This matters a lot.
Thank you for being here today. Thank you for your service to this country.
Thank you, Senator.
Few nominees come into this room with all the necessary experience to do this job, to be Secretary of Defense. We get that. It's a reflection on just how big of a job this is. What I want to understand is whether or not you bring any of the necessary experience that this job requires. And here's where I'm concerned. Senator Coleman, in introducing you, and this is a quote, he said, "He has struggled and overcome great personal challenges," unquote. You walk in here saying that you've had personal and character issues in your past, including heavy drinking, which you wrote about. And you said, and this is a quote from you, that you said, "I sit before you as an open book." Yet you haven't actually said what personal challenges it is that you've overcome when you've been asked about them. So I'm going to give you an opportunity here to be as forthright as you say you want to be. So while leading Concerned Veterans of America, there were very specific cases cited by individuals about your conduct. I'm going to go through a few of them, and I just want you to tell me if these are true or false. Very simple. On Memorial Day 2014, at a CVA event in Virginia, you needed to be carried out of the event for being intoxicated.
Senator, anonymous smears.
Just true or false? Very simple. Summer of 2014 in Cleveland, drunk in public with the CVA team.
Anonymous smears.
I'm just asking for true or false questions. True or false answers. An event in North Carolina, drunk in front of 3 young female staff members after you had instituted a no alcohol policy and then reversed it. True or false?
Anonymous smears.
December of 2014 at the CVA Christmas party at the Grand Hyatt at Washington, D.C., you were noticeably intoxicated and had to be carried up to your room. Is that true or false?
Anonymous smears.
Another time, a CVA staffer stated that you passed out in the back of a party bus. Is that true or false?
Anonymous smears.
In 2014, while in Louisiana on official business for CVA, did you take your staff, including young female staff members, to a strip club?
Absolutely not. Anonymous smears.
So, is it accurate that the organization reached a financial settlement with a female staffer who claimed to be at a strip club with you, and there was a colleague who attempted to sexually assault her? Was there a financial settlement?
Senator, I was not involved in that. I don't know the nature of how that played out.
But you understand there was a financial settlement for a young female staffer who accused another member of the organization, not you, of sexual assault in a strip club.
We have multiple statements on the record referring to that.
But you claim you were not there when that occurred.
Absolutely not.
Now, the behavior I cited, if true, do you think that this behavior of intoxication, going into these type of establishments, women on your staff being so uncomfortable that they have to file these sort of harassment claims. Do you think this is appropriate behavior for a leader?
Senator, the overwhelming majority of anyone who's worked for me, including the on-the-record statements that have been submitted to this, with their name on it, on the record, men and women who worked with me every day, are the overwhelming preponderance of evidence that testify to my leadership and professionalism in leading Vets for Freedom and Concerned Veterans for America. My leadership has been completely impugned on these veterans organizations that did fantastic work.
Mr. Hegseth, I'm not even going to go into the accusations.
And we managed our financial books with integrity across the board. How many people, everybody who runs a campaign.
I have limited time. I'm not going to get into the accusations that come from Fox News. I know you have some of your Fox News colleagues here. There were multiple instances of accusations against you about drinking on the job.
All anonymous, all false, all refuted by my colleagues who I worked with for 10 years at 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and everything
The challenge here for me, Mr. Hegseth,
only seen me be professional
is when there is discussion about personal challenges and you admittedly had issues with heavy drinking. It's hard to kind of square this, to square the circle here. It's kind of a difficult thing to do. Let me ask you, if I have about 90 seconds left here, if you had to answer these questions about sexual assault against you and your drinking and your personal conduct, would it have been different if you were under oath?
Senator, all I'm pointing out is the false claims against me.
Okay, I take it you do not want to answer that question. I walked into this hearing this morning concerned that you haven't demonstrated adequate leadership in your civilian roles. And this is a dangerous world we're living in here. And America cannot afford a Secretary of Defense who is unprepared for that mission. I'm going to leave with concerns about your transparency. You say you've had personal issues in your past, yet when asked about those very issues, you blame an anonymous smear campaign, even when many of these claims are not anonymous. Which is it? Have you overcome personal issues, or are you the target of a smear campaign? It can't be both. It's clear to me that you're not being honest with us or the American people because you know the truth would disqualify you from getting the job. And just as concerning as each of these specific disqualifying accusations are, what concerns me just as much is the idea of having a Secretary of Defense who is not transparent. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back my 2 seconds.
Thank you, Senator Kelly.
So let's break down what just happened, because there is a lot to unpack here. First, notice how Senator Kelly opened. He did not come in swinging. He did not attack. He actually gave Hegseth credit up front. He said most nominees don't come in fully prepared for a job this big, and that's fine. That one move was smart, very smart, because it made everything that came after feel fair, not political, not personal, just honest. Then came the questions, and this is where Kelly showed real discipline. He asked true or false, Memorial Day 2014, carried out of an event for being drunk, true or false, summer of 2014, drunk in public with his team, true or false, drunk in front of young female staff after putting a no alcohol policy in place, true or false, carried to his hotel room at the Grand Hyatt Christmas party, true or false, passed out on a party bus. Every single time, Hegseth said the same 2 words, anonymous smears. Not true, not false, just anonymous smears. That is not an answer. That is a shield. A rehearsed line designed to make the question go away without actually addressing it. And Kelly noticed, he let the record show it, and he moved on. Then came the strip club, and this is where things got complicated for Hegseth. Kelly asked, did you take your staff, including young female staff members, to a strip club in Louisiana? Hegseth said, absolutely not. Then Kelly asked, is it true that a female staffer received a financial settlement after another member of your organization sexually assaulted her at that strip club? And here is what Hegseth said. He said he was not involved and he didn't know how it played out. He did not say it didn't happen. He confirmed it happened. He just said he wasn't there. But here is the thing. He was the leader of that organization, and a woman on his staff was assaulted, and money was paid out, and his response was essentially, "Not my problem." Kelly didn't argue with him. He didn't need to. He just let that answer sit in the room. There is another moment that is easy to miss but really important, Hegseth said. I'm not going to get into accusations that come from Fox News. Think about that for a second. This is a man who spent years as a Fox News host, who was nominated for this job in large part because of his relationship with a president who loves Fox News, and under pressure, he called Fox News a source of smears against him. That tells you he was not thinking like a nominee. He was thinking like a TV personality managing a story, and Kelly didn't take the bait. He just kept going. Then came the most precise question of the entire hearing. Kelly asked, "Would your answers have been different if you were under oath?" Hegseth did not answer that question. He pivoted back to false claims and anonymous smears, and that was it. A person with nothing to hide usually has no problem answering a question about their own honesty. The refusal to answer was itself an answer. Now let's talk about who this moment helps politically and who it hurts. For Democrats, Kelly did something very useful here. He put specific allegations with specific dates and specific locations on the permanent public record, not through a leaked memo, not through a news article, but through a Senate hearing, where it lives forever. And he did it as a combat veteran, a man with far more military experience than the person being questioned, which gives every word he said a weight that is hard to dismiss. For the White House, this was a problem, because Hegseth's value to the administration was always about loyalty and disruption. He was picked to shake up the Pentagon, not to demonstrate deep institutional knowledge. But loyalty is not the same as competence, and every moment like this one made it harder to argue that experience didn't matter. Hegseth was confirmed, but being confirmed and being cleared are two very different things, and the record Kelly built that day is not going anywhere. Kelly's closing line said it all, very simply and very clearly. He said, "You cannot tell us you have overcome serious personal challenges, and also tell us these are all made-up smear campaigns. Those two things cannot both be true at the same time. If the problems were real, own them. If they were made up, say so clearly." Hegseth tried to do both, and that is the most revealing thing that happened in that room. It was not about drinking. It was not about a strip club. It was about whether this person could be straight with the American people. And on that question, Kelly made his case clearly, calmly, and completely. So here is what we want to ask you. In a world where nominees are media trained, and hearings are televised, and every answer is rehearsed, is there any real accountability left in this process, or has it just become another performance? Tell us what you think in the comments below, and if this kind of breakdown is useful to you, subscribe to the channel, because there is a lot more of this coming, and we are not going anywhere.